Hello again, everyone. My name is Anthony Wilson. Welcome back to Magic Talk. Today we're going to continue my review on some of the Scars of Mirrodin spoiler cards. A lot of interesting cards come out recently, and some of them raise a lot of questions. So let's get started. I think right here with the Elspeth is where we left off last time. I made a mistake in my last video. I said that her final ability cost 8. It's 5. Kind of blurry. Hard to tell. At an angle, it kind of looked like an 8. I'm sorry, it's 8, but it is actually 5, which makes her ability pretty broken. You throw her down, pay 2 to gain 1 life for each creature you control, proliferate, and next turn you can set her final ability off, which is pretty amazing. So, her final ability is actually 5, not 8, which makes her even better. So I'm sorry about that from the last video. Let's see what we got going on here. One prediction I did have about Scars of Mirrodin was, well, I guess it was kind of a hope that they would bring spell bombs back, because I love the spell bombs, and I kinda got my wish and kinda didn't. Here we have the white spell bomb, a different type though. They do different things now. Only instead of choosing one or the other ability, you get one ability happens, and then you can, when it goes to the graveyard, you can pay the white to draw an extra card. So, this is really interesting. I'm kind of anxious to see what the other colors will look like. If there will be other colors, I'm sure there will be. There will probably be one for each color. So, kind of excited about the spell bombs. Finally, have a Mir for artifacts. We had in the last block and this block they reprinted the Mirs. There was one for each color. This one gives us colorless mana, but 2 of. So, this is kind of interesting. It seems like they are not adding the purple mana, which was rumored. They're not adding the 6th color, which was rumored to might be happening in Scars. But instead, again, focusing on the artifacts. I wasn't sure if they would be doing this or not, but they really are focusing on the artifacts again. I guess it should have been expected, but you never know. So here we have another Metal Grafter. I think this guy is pretty awesome. I don't know if I'd go as far to say, I've heard some people reference this as the standard Tarmogoyf, because on turn, you can play him on turn 2 and he becomes a 4/4. You can even play him on turn 1, and he is a 4/4 on turn 1, which I think is pretty good, having Mox Opal and Memnite and a couple other things. So, pretty exciting. Maybe see some kind of a more green aggro, artifact aggro-ish decks come out of this. So I think this guy is actually really good, and we'll see where he goes from there. Oh, also important to note, he is an elf, which I think is awesome, by the way. So keep this in mind, that not only will this go in some kind of artifact aggro deck, but you could be seeing him in elf decks. So have fun with that card. Here we see the return of charge counters with this card here. This card might be good. I see it being played in limited. I don't see it making a lot of decks, but you never know. Maybe with Proliferate or ways to add more counters to it and keep tapping stuff. Voltaic Key, untap it, keep tapping dudes down. So, I don't know what this card will do. I don't see it being competitive. I see it being played in limited, though, as some kind of makeshift removal way to keep the board in control. So, we'll see more on this as it develops. I don't know. Here, we saw the Proliferate ability on a flyer before. Here we see the Infect ability on a flyer, which I think is pretty good. I know a lot of people in this area have been experimenting with mono black aggro, mono black control, different decks like that. This could easily be put into a deck like that, and with the Infect mechanic on it, and so it's kind of evasion. The Infect mechanic getting some evasion here, which is pretty interesting. So this card looks like it'll be a lot of fun. Still not sure whether we will see this in competitive or not, but definitely casual formats. I know a lot of my friends will probably be playing this in some of their casual decks, and be sure that you'll see this in limited. This is actually a pretty good limited card, as instead of putting your opponent on a 20-turn clock, you drop that down to a 10-turn clock because of adding poison counters to your opponents, and then with Proliferate can actually make this kind of threatening. So be sure that you will probably see this in limited decks. Here's a card that I think is going to be played. Definitely played in casual, probably going to be played in competitive as well. Steady Progress, a blue and 2, Proliferate, which which explains right here. You choose any number of permanents and players, and if they have a counter on them, you add another counter of the same type. And then it says you draw a card. The reason I think this is going to be played is this word right here. This is an instant, which is makes this card really, really good. But this, I thought about something. Proliferate actually. What if the permanent that you're targeting already has multiple counters on it? Do you get to add one of each counter, or just one of the counters that it already has? I'm pretty sure it's one of the counters. The way it's worded here. Give them each another counter of a kind it already has. That's already there. So it's probably only one counter, but I'm not sure if anybody wants to comment or message me on the actual ruling on that. That would be helpful. So I'm pretty sure it's just you just get one. You choose the counter type and put a counter of that type on it already. Here we get this. I don't even know how to pronounce this. The Blight Dragon. A friend of mine called me immediately, like the second this card was spoiled, and started talking my ear off about it. He thinks this card is going to be amazing and be a chase rare. Mono black control needs some kind of a big win condition. I know a lot of people have been experimenting with mono black control. I keep hearing a lot of people out there want mono black control to be good. This is probably something that it would need. This is probably a vital tool in the mono black control deck. He costs 5. He's a 4/4 flyer with Infect. Now this is really good because we see Infect on a creature with a larger power and toughness, and that you can regenerate. So again, another creature with Infect, with evasion, with the flying. So you can quickly start adding poison counters to your opponents. You have this evasion thing. So you're going to need good ways to remove this where you're losing path. I guess Condemn would be a good answer to this. Journey to Nowhere is probably a good answer to this. Those cards, you're probably going to have to play those cards to get rid of this guy because of the regenerate. So it makes him very resilient, and the loss of a lot of non-black removal spells is actually probably going to make this guy pretty good. Will he break competitive play? I hope so. He definitely looks good enough to do it. In the right color to do it. So we'll see. We'll have to see. But the regenerate is definitely what's going to help this guy out a lot. Here, the last two cards for today. Excuse me. We saw guys like this the last time in Mirrodin that had kind of an affiliation to a certain color. This card, I'm not sure if it's going to see competitive play or not, being that he's only a 1/3 for 3. But the sacrifice, destroy target, artifact, or enchantment is pretty good. Probably see this guy, would definitely see this guy played in limited. Definitely probably see him played in EDH and other casual formats. But I don't know if he'll be played in competitive or not. But definitely be played in limited, as he can get rid of, because of his ability, he can trade with larger artifact creatures. So this guy's definitely going to be played in limited. Now here is a creature that raises a lot of questions for me. This Quicksilver Gargantuan. Now he costs 7. He's a shapeshifter. You may have him enter the battlefield as a copy of target creature, except that the creature, he is still a 7/7. Now, I started thinking about a lot of things when I saw this card. First off, sitting next to cards like Leyline of Anticipation, even in extended cards like Mirrorwave, and different stuff like that. And it also started making me think a lot about the card Gideon Jura, the Planeswalker. Say you have Leyline of Anticipation in play, or let's say that you just have Gideon Jura. You're playing blue-white, and you activate Gideon to turn him into a creature, and he comes into play as a copy of Gideon. What happens? Does he become a Planeswalker? Does he stay the Gideon creature? Excuse me 1 second here. I'm getting a phone call. Freaking phone. Sorry about that phone call. But is he a Planeswalker? Is he just still a 7/7 creature? So it raises a lot of questions. What actually happens when this comes into play, and you copy something like a Planeswalker? If you have this guy in play as a copy of something else, and you write a replication him, what does the copy or copies become? Do they all enter the battlefield with this ability, and you can choose to make them different creatures? Does he come in? Do the tokens come in as a copy of what he already is? You got cards like Mirrorweave. Say that you hear all the craziness with Mirrorweave. You have this guy in play and you Mirrorweave him. Do all the creatures become just 7/7 blue shapeshifters, or do they all become whatever he was a copy of? You've got manlands. If I play a manland, I activate my manland and then play this guy and copy the manland. Does he become whatever the manland was? Is he still a land? So there is a lot of probably confusion with what this card does and his ability and how it's actually going to work and affect everything. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see some of the rulings that come out of this. And I welcome you guys to discuss this with me down in the comments below. I try to answer all the comments that you guys leave, and I want to talk about this card. Also, you can I have my Facebook page. You can follow me on Facebook. I'll have the link posted below down in the description of this video. I'll also have the link to the spoiler list that I'm using here at this website, so at Gathering Magic. So yeah, discuss with me what this card is going to do. I'm not sure, depending on how some of the rulings go, whether he breaks competitive play or not, or if he's just strictly casual and limited. So yeah, comment below and keep up and with the discussion and talk to me about this and let me know what you guys think. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.